Welcome to Soul Mastery for the soul led entrepreneur who desires it all purpose, power, and prosperity. I am your host, Chaitali Desai, business and success mentor who has helped countless entrepreneurs build and scale their businesses through the lens of human design, hypnosis, and other energetic alignment practices, not only to increase their impact, but to also increase their income. And today, we are talking all about adopting or being the CEO of your business and life. I know I want to step back for a moment and just talk about that for a second, because when we think of a CEO, we always think big business or any business really, the person at the top, but you don't bring it down to the everyday. And that's what we're going to do today. If you are a human, which I'm assuming you are, I want you, if you take away nothing else from today, I want you to understand that you are the CEO of your life. No matter what you do professionally, no matter your age, you are in charge of your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. This is the one we have. So, starting to really put on this archetype, right? This identity of a CEO, it puts you in a place of personal power, standing in your own sense of, okay, this is my life. What am I going to do with it? What do I want to create? And when you really dive into this, you hear it in every self-help book, you hear it on self-help podcasts, personal development, everything. It comes down to your why, right? You really want to take time and go through some sense of introspection and stay till the end, because I have something that will support you. And get down to, like, why are you doing anything that you do? And I know it kind of seems like a no-brainer, right? But if you get past the superficial aspects and you dive into why do you do the things you do every day, I think it can be interesting. What it has done for me, and I know, it's easy to see somebody now in their highlight era, so to speak, where you don't see all the growth that happens behind the scenes. So I want to kind of open that up and share the behind the scenes of how, from a personal standpoint, I really stepped into this mindset, into this being, this identity of being the CEO. A lot of it first starts with taking self-responsibility, knowing that it's not a dress rehearsal. Like, this is our time, no matter your age. And one of the questions, as jarring as it's going to sound, is, am I living or am I just not dying? And just as a caveat, I understand there's a lot going on in the world right now. So this is not to diminish any of the pain. This is not to add to any of the pain, but to really stop and think to yourself, is every day Groundhog Day? Because if it is, then is that really living? Sometimes there's aspects of our lifestyle or our life where we don't have full control, but in those micro moments, you can decide how you're going to do something, not do something, respond, not respond, right? The options will always be there if you're open to seeing them, if you're open to stepping into the identity of a CEO. So, how do you even begin? Well, lucky for you, I love my steps. So, step one, decide. Decide that this is an identity, an archetype, an energy, however you define those words or whatever word you use. Decide that that's what you're going to do, right? Because if you think of any great CEO, they're constantly making decisions. 2, know where you're going. If you've ever been in any of my mentorship, you hear me often ask, like, what's the point? Why are you doing this? And this is an excellent question for you to really take to heart. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? A great example for me is this podcast. When I started this podcast, my why was to cultivate my voice, not physically, but the confidence to go live, the confidence to share my voice quite literally. So I started the podcast and I made a commitment that, okay, every week this podcast is going to go either a solo or as an interview. You got to know where you're going. And it's figuring out what the why is. And it's not fun. It's the unsexy work, again, behind the scenes stuff, but that is how you figure it out. You ask yourself these introspective questions. And then my favorite step, not really, but I'm learning to love it. You got to surrender. I think across all religions, all spiritual processes, communities, it's the let go and let God. Trust that the decisions you're making are the right decision in the moment. Don't overthink it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It definitely doesn't need to be perfect. You guys hear me talking about Forrest Gump in my way through things. It's because I knew I wanted to do something, so I just did it and I figured it out as I went along. Or if you're in a space where you can invest in learning from somebody, in mentorship, that's always a great option. But if you cannot right now, Forrest Gump it, man. Take the action, right? One of my favorite lines with Forrest Gump was he ended up running that marathon and they asked him, so why did you want to run the marathon? And he's like, well, I just wanted to run. So I just ran. There was no overthinking. He just did the thing. The next is to stay focused. We are hit with so much information daily that it can become overwhelming. And shiny object syndrome, it's real. The latest trend, if you're an entrepreneur using social media, the latest audio trend, the latest reels, this, the latest post style, that. If you're not an entrepreneur, there's still constant trends out there, right? From makeup trends to the latest diet. Listen, stay focused. Put on those what are those things called? They put on horses so they can only see this way. Stay focused, because with all the information that we're getting hit with, bombarded with constantly, it's so easy. And this is another reason why having a solid why is so beneficial in business and in life. You're a CEO. You got to know your money. What is happening? What's going out? What's coming in? Are you mindlessly spending? Right? You got to know your finances. And sometimes that can be hard. Look, it's not fun to sit down and reconcile your accounts. Trust me, it is not my favorite thing to do. But you can make it fun. You can make it sexy. Pour yourself a wine, maybe put on some music, almost like a date in a weird kind of way, but you're having a date with your money. And if you can get into that habit, cultivate that within you, it is a power move. And once you start to understand, okay, here are the things that I love to do, here are things I don't love to do, delegate what you can. And if you can't afford to delegate it yet, just take care of it. And then as you start to understand your money, you'll be able to see if you can outsource cleaning your house, or getting a maid to come in once a week, or hiring a VA to do all your engagement if you're an entrepreneur. And lastly, one of my favorite things is keep it super simple. Don't overwhelm yourself with 1,000,001 to-dos, because your mind gets overwhelmed, and when an overwhelmed mind won't do anything. Keeping it really simple, and I'm sure you've heard me say it before, but it's beneficial today, especially when we're discussing putting on the CEO identity, or being the CEO of your business, of your life, is to prioritize. So what you guys will find in the show notes, I created a CEO business and lifestyle planner. Guys, it's complimentary and I highly recommend you download it. What I did was, after helping so many people build their businesses and reprogram their mind for success, I was like, okay, how can we take what I do there and make it applicable, make it easy access for everyone? I want you to win. So I created this planner. What you'll do, download it, you'll see that there's a success planner. Because remember in the beginning, I shared, you want to know where you're going. Dream big. Take all of the ideas that have been floating around in your mind, those secret dreams that you have that you don't really share with too many people, or perhaps you don't share it at all. Put it on paper. Get it out of your head, because once it's out of your head and on paper, one, it's tangible, right? You can hold a piece of paper. So now it's not just a pipe dream out there, it's real. And then you prove to yourself, oh my goodness, okay, here's everything that I've been thinking about. And go big. Again, have like, set up like a date with this planner, and take the time. What do you want in your life? And if you're young, because I know I have a very wide range of listeners, and for those of you who are students, or maybe you're older and you're still a student, doesn't matter, but especially for my young teens, early 20s, guys, dream big. And here's a tip I wish I had known then. Whatever you're learning right now, if you're in university, whatever your major is, or maybe you're a high school student and there's like certain classes that you just love, how can you start to create an income stream, assuming you're of age? An income stream, right? Again, going back to myself as an example, my university degree is in molecular genetics and medical technology. What could I have done then as a side income stream, right? Now that I'm part of a beauty brand and I'm part of this mental wellness where they take science, the scientific approach to biooptimizing your body, meaning supplements basically that help improve your gut, which is your second brain, works along the brain gut axis to improve your sharpness, your focus, your mental acuity. If I had known things like that existed back then, I could have been making bank, right? So if you are young, think out of the box while you're dreaming big. Then you take that success planner, all your ideas on there, put down your dreams, your goals, health, wealth, family, social life, entrepreneurship, mentorship, whatever it is, put it down. Then you need to know how to get there, right? So this is where you strategize, you plan, then you execute. And you'll see in the planner, what I did was I reversed engineered it for you. Because as a CEO, we move from the top down. So we have our big line vision, right? All our dreams, desires. Then we want to break it down month to month. What you can accomplish in a month, don't underestimate it. Then we take it down and we break it down to the week. Take your priorities. I would say if you're just starting out, don't do any more than 3. If you've been at this for a little while, go up to 5, but I wouldn't go too much past that because, again, we want to keep it simple. 3 to 5 priorities each week that moves the needle forward to your goals, whether it's health, whether it's financials, whether it's your business, doesn't matter. But as you start to break them down, they become easier because the mind loves simplicity. Then what I also did, but I do want to tell you that reprogramming your mind, you know how much I love hypnosis? I've included 2 complimentary hypnosis audio tracks. One, unapologetically confident. I want you to step into your badassery. Own it. Own it. How many CEOs do you see out there owning their badness? Their like badassness, excuse me. Own it. Then one of the other fundamental necessities as a high-level CEO, as a high achiever, guys, it's sleep. I know it doesn't sound sexy. However, when your body is well rested, it gets to replenish itself. It gets to repair itself. You need quality sleep. So I've included the deep sleep hypnosis to help you in the evening if you're having trouble going to sleep because your mind is racing with all the ideas that you have, or if you are a busy individual and you need a power nap. I've programmed that hypnosis so you can either help you sleep through the night or to let you have like a quick power nap, because 20 to 30 minutes of hypnotic sleep as the equivalent of 5 to 6 hours of deep sleep. That's phenomenal. So you'll find all of that in the guide. And again, there are some additional bonuses in there just for you to really have fun with it. And I like this idea that I've been sharing here to take it out on a date. Like, be intentional when you're setting this time up, right? To get into this planner, to look at what your dreams are, what your big goals are. And then take the time to say, okay, well, what can I achieve? What do I want? What do I get to achieve every month? Then make that week to week plan. 3 action items or 3 priorities for each week that you get to knock out. You will be so surprised how much you get done. And more importantly, who will you become in the process? Because that's really, in my mind, one of the biggest success stories, who you get to become. Really getting into the nitty gritty of your dreams, your desires. And again, let them be big. Let them be big. Don't be scared, because oftentimes that's what holds us back. It's not that we're scared that, oh, what will they say? Oftentimes it's, oh my God, who am I to be thinking like that? Well, you're the CEO of your life. Dream big. So I am really excited for you to grab the planner. And again, it's important to keep it simple. So if you feel like, okay, I just want to make like small goals, I want to focus on one area. Maybe if you're an entrepreneur, you just want to focus on your business. That's okay. There's no right or wrong way. It's yours. Step into this persona, this identity of the CEO, this archetype, and decide. If you only want one goal to focus on the one goal. You'll see in the planner, in one of the surprise parts of it, I give you a lot of options. You can do all of them, or you can do one of them or 2 of them. You're the CEO. Decide. Now, here's the thing. When you get into this and you start checking things off, like, oh my goodness, I hit this goal. You know what that does? It shows your subconscious mind you mean business. And when your subconscious mind starts to see you following through on what you said, guess what? It gets on board even faster. And when your subconscious mind is on board, it's like swimming with the current. That's the concept in my world of ease and flow. You're moving with the current because your mind, body, soul, and physical are all going in one direction. And I hope you'll see in the planner, I said it, but I hope the planner becomes like your North Star, guiding you to your goals, guiding you to being and owning the fact that you are the CEO of your business and life. No matter your age, race, color, ethnicity, nothing, none of that. You. Because at the end of the day, in business, in life, it's always you against you. And my main thing is you want to be 1%, you get to be 1% better than you were. And that is how we step into that CEO energy. But it all starts with a decision. So I hope you decide to download the planner today and really set aside intentional time. Intentional time, a date with your planner. Shoot, why not? Right? If you've never read The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron, she talks about taking yourself out on an artist date. Let this be your artist date. All right, I'm Chaitali Desai, and this is Soul Mastery. Until next time, I'm always wishing you a beautiful day, and remember, you are the CEO of your life. Act accordingly.